Welcome to the deep dive. Bitcoin's shot back up past $90,000.
It certainly has. Quite the move.
Yeah, and we've got a real mix of info today, price charts, government chatter, some corporate stuff too.
Right.
So our mission basically is to figure out what's behind this, renewed Bitcoin buzz.
Absolutely. And it's not just one single thing, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Our sources are pointing to, well, several different threads weaving together here.
Okay, let's dive in. First up, something I found interesting. Bitcoin seems to be doing its own thing lately, moving away from tech stocks.
Yeah, that decoupling. It's potentially a really big deal.
Why is that?
Well, for a long time, Bitcoin kind of tracked those high-growth, risk-on tech assets. Now, seeing it move independently suggests maybe investors are starting to see it differently.
Like digital gold, maybe. Something separate.
Exactly. Less like a tech stock, more like its own unique asset. It behaves differently.
Okay. And related to behaving differently, we're hearing about a weaker dollar, maybe trade war jitters too.
Yeah.
Is Bitcoin stepping into that role as a hedge?
That narrative is definitely gaining steam. I mean, if people are getting nervous about, say, traditional markets or the stability of fiat
Maybe the
currencies,
dollar or euro.
precisely, then Bitcoin might look like, a safer harbor, or at least a way to spread out the risk.
Gotcha. Now here's a twist. The Trump family getting into Bitcoin mining with American Bitcoin.
Yeah, that definitely raised some eyebrows.
How could that shake things up?
Well, a few ways.
Yeah.
First, you've got very public, influential figures jumping directly into the Bitcoin space. That's visibility.
Uh-huh.
And second, it could hint at maybe a more crypto-friendly regulatory environment if there's another Trump administration.
Right, especially with the talk about that national Bitcoin reserve.
Exactly. That U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve idea. Remember that executive order? It had a, 60-day deadline for the Treasury to look into it?
So what if that actually moves forward, the U.S. government holding Bitcoin?
Wow. Well, if the U.S. seriously considered holding Bitcoin strategically,
Yeah.
that would be massive. Just huge validation on a national stage.
You'd think that would boost demand, right?
Oh, absolutely. That kind of stamp of approval could really drive the price. Watching what the Treasury says is key.
Okay, let's talk price predictions. Some experts are making, pretty bold calls. Kiyosaki's throwing out 180K, maybe 200Ks. Hoskinson's even higher at 250K. And then Arthur Hayes saying by now it's the last chance under 100K. What's driving that confidence?
Well, it ties back to everything we've been discussing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These predictions seem grounded in those same factors. The economic uncertainty, the potential for more favorable policies.
And just more people using it, adopting it.
And wider adoption, yes. Experts like Kiyosaki often point to worries about traditional finance, inflation. That's his rationale for Bitcoin's long-term value.
And Hayes' urgency.
That suggests he sees these trends converging, like now, and anticipates a big price jump fairly soon.
And we are seeing money move, aren't we? Significant inflows back into the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs.
Absolutely. After a period of outflows, seeing that money return is a strong sign.
It feels like renewed institutional belief. Yeah.
It does. It suggests the big players are getting comfortable again, maybe seeing that decoupling we talked about and liking Bitcoin's independent streak. Those earlier jitters seem to be fading a bit.
And it's not just institutions or the U.S. We've got Pakistan potentially looking at Bitcoin mining.
Right, another government exploring it.
And GameStop adding Bitcoin to their corporate treasury.
Yeah, that's interesting. It points to a broader acceptance globally.
So it's not just speculation anymore.
Exactly. When you see governments looking into mining, corporations putting it on their balance sheets,
Yeah.
it shows Bitcoin is being integrated more seriously around the world.
Okay, so let's try and pull this together. What are the key drivers, the main engines behind this rally?
So we've got Bitcoin acting more on its own, separating from tech.
Okay.
Its appeal as a potential hedge against, economic wobbles like a weaker dollar or trade tensions.
Right.
Then there's the potential for more supportive government stances hinted at by the Trump mining thing and the strategic reserve discussion.
Slowly. Plus, clear renewed interest from the big institutional investors. You see that in the ETF flows.
Yeah, finally.
And just growing adoption, both by countries exploring it and companies using it. It's becoming more embedded.
And all that you're saying feeds into why guys like Kiyosaki, Hoskinson, and Hayes are so bullish. They see these forces pushing Bitcoin way higher.
Precisely. Their optimism seems directly linked to this confluence of positive factors we've unpacked.
Okay. So considering all this information we've explored, the economic backdrop, the policy whispers, the growing adoption, here's something for you, the listener, to think about. What future developments do you think will ultimately have the biggest impact on Bitcoin's path from here? And what new questions does this raise for you about this whole digital asset landscape? Some food for thought there. Thanks for diving deep with us today.